When a massive star runs out of its fuel, it collapses under its own gravity and results in an immense shock wave. This shock wave gives rise to a huge and luminous explosion called supernova. For astrophysicists, this event is of particular interest as such explosions are considered to be the cradle of birth for new stars and also for the synthesis of heavy elements in nature. But the mechanism of these super explosions is not yet completely understood and has remained one of the enigmas of the universe. However, scientists think that this mechanism can be understood by studying the tiniest subatomic particles called neutrinos, which are released during a supernova in large numbers.
Whenever a supernova explosion takes place, 99% of the star's energy is emitted as neutrinos. And these neutrinos, they travel with the speed of light and are weakly interacting in nature. So these neutrinos can be a great source of information about what is exactly happening inside the star.
Neutrino is actually a neutral subatomic particle with a negligible mass. It is very much like an electron, but it doesn't have any charge. Considered to be one of the basic building blocks of our universe, neutrinos exist in three forms or flavors: electron neutrino, muon neutrino, and tau neutrino. And during a supernova explosion, neutrinos of all flavors or types are emitted in a large number and with a powerful flux. Till now, for studying the process of supernova explosion and the accompanying neutrino emission in a simpler way, scientists have been classifying neutrinos in two groups: electron neutrinos and non-electron neutrinos, which clubs muon and tau neutrinos as one, as scientists assume that these neutrinos are identical, as they have identical fluxes. But according to researchers belonging to the Department of Physics at IIT Guwahati and their co-researchers, this assumption is not right, as many studies show that under high density, neutrinos can change forms or flavors. Which means electron neutrino can become muon neutrino and muon neutrino can become electron neutrino at a very high rate.
Since the neutrino density is very high, they start interacting with each other. It's like, although they are very weakly interacting, you put a lot of them inside one box and then they're forced to talk to each other. Now, what people had found out previously was that if you have such a setup where all these neutrinos are kept in a box, they keep talking to each other and they keep interacting with each other, then there is always a finite possibility that a certain kind of neutrino can convert into another kind of neutrino. What this means is that a significant fraction of the electron neutrinos can actually convert to muon neutrinos and vice versa. This is known in the literature as collective oscillations of neutrinos.
Researchers from IIT Guwahati collaborated with researchers of Max Planck Institute for Physics, Munich, Germany, and the Northwestern University, USA, and abandoned the usual two-flavor approach. They performed non-linear simulation of the fast flavor conversions, including all the three types of neutrinos inside the supernova. They demonstrated with their study that inside the supernova, non-electron neutrinos can have different fluxes, and therefore one needs to consider all neutrinos as separate entities to study supernova precisely.
We, for the very first time, did this three-flavor nonlinear studies of fast conversion. And what we found is that the three-flavor results are substantially different than the two-flavor ones. In fact, in some cases, these two-flavor results are giving exactly opposite conclusion to the three-flavor ones. And this eventually takes us to this very important realization for treating supernova neutrinos and fast oscillations, all the flavors are essential. One cannot neglect any one of them. And in fact, this can actually hold the key to this very important question, that why certain stars, certain massive stars, die in a super explosion or supernovae, and why some of them fail to become supernovae and eventually can become a black hole.
According to the researchers, 3 flavor studies changed the results dramatically in comparison to the existing 2 flavor results. This can have major implications for particle and astrophysics of supernovae neutrinos. The study has been published in the journal Physical Review Letters.